Councillor Bravo, question?
Since we were talking about issues of philosophy, I just wanted to check in on one thing. It's my understanding that federal and provincial governments have made policy and funding decisions that have harmed the cities or every municipality's ability to meet needs, and also have left the city governments with holding the responsibility for dealing with the outcome of those bad policies, like around housing, et cetera, massive tax cuts to the wealthy and massive corporate tax cuts. It sounded to me like what you're saying is that the needs are so great, and that given the lack of supports that we have currently from federal and provincial governments, that we would turn to Torontonians that have, for example, a vacant home, to ask them to pay, instead of like 1%, maybe like Vancouver's now charging 5% for a vacant homes tax. And you mentioned some other forms of taxation. Is it because you want to make sure that we're meeting the needs that you're seeing at the food bank and elsewhere?
Yes, of course. The food banks and our network can definitely sympathize with city government's frustration when you have to respond to provincial and federal policies that put bigger stress on a city government, because food banks were supposed to be a stopgap solution, right, to poverty. We were supposed to just be a temporary fix, but we have become more and more needed and have become more and more relied on to serve low-income communities, to make sure people can put food on the table. And I am here to say that we cannot solve this problem. We cannot solve poverty and food insecurity. And depending on us to do that is going to doom us for failure.
And finally, in a cost-constrained environment in which we find ourselves, you mentioned MIRA, which is to secure existing affordable housing. There's also the EPIC, which is eviction prevention program. There's the rent bank that hasn't been increased. Would you say that the city has to pay in other ways when people become homeless? They're evicted or they lose their housing because they can't afford to pay their rent?
Absolutely. The cost of not preventing poverty is far more expensive through homelessness, through healthcare. We see that cost, down the line is much more expensive. If we take preventative measures today, we will be saving fiscally tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.